never let them bring you down, cause then you be on a level. Listen, I'm never giving up. Stand your ground, don't get too comfortable or too settled. Listen, I'm never giving up. When you hit rock bottom, it's only one way to go. Listen, I'm never giving up. Everybody got problems, how you handle them, no. Yeah. Listen.
Hey, I'm John.
And I'm Jonathan.
Welcome to the Formula.
Yo, what's up,
good?
man?
I'm
How's
chilling.
everything?
I'm all right.
Good week.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Been a good week, man. Just busy with the kids, always.
A lot of graduations going on.
Yeah, well, it's camp time, man.
Camp time.
School's out.
Yep.
Daughter's at gymnastics camp, running a day. And my son's at Boys and Girls Club. We just left DJ Moore's camp. Just left him there at DJ Moore's football camp. So he got a 2-day camp this weekend.
DJ Moore, wide receiver, Carolina Panthers.
Yes, sir. Mr. 1,000 yards.
That's a good deal. Mr.
1,000 yards receiving the season. Yes, sir. Shout out to DJ Moore.
That's a good look.
At DJ Moore on Instagram and Twitter, man.
Man, when I was a little kid, I wish.
Yeah, right?
I wish.
Exactly. Can you imagine that, man? Emmitt Smith, Jerry Rice camp.
Yeah, back in the days, I was in New York. The Jets were the closest to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Boomer Esiason was playing at the time.
Boomer, yeah.
So, yeah, that would have been cool.
You got Lawrence Taylor, maybe? Around your time?
Maybe, yeah. Yep.
Well, up in Buffalo, you got Reed, right?
Andre Reed, Jim Kelly, and them.
Yeah. Thurman Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would have been dope.
That would have been dope.
Yeah, man. So it's fun. Want to give them those exposures. They say exposure is expansion. That's our word around town. Exposure.
Gymnastics, though, your daughter.
Yeah.
I think we need to try that.
Oh, she in that?
No, me and you need to try that.
Me and you need to try that.
Yeah.
What you want to do on that? What we doing?
I know, because you got to be in really good shape.
Yeah.
You got to be in really good shape. So
yeah.
I want to try that.
Yeah. I'll be down
at some point.
Yeah, we can do that. High bar and all that stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, sure.
For sure, man. But
what are you trying to get into?
Oh, man. This is what I want to get into, John. Having conversations with friends, things like that. I want to talk about paternity, man. Paternity.
Okay.
Like, having this debate of, you have the man thinking he have a child, but he don't.
Mm-hmm.
Women don't know who they baby dads are.
Who the biological father is.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I
mean, this stuff impacts all of us, and that's the whole nation. It definitely impacts us as a black race, man. Just we talk about the percentages of so the Justice Department, right? The United States Justice Department says that a fatherless home accounts for 63% of youth suicides. That's big.
So there's a correlation.
Yes.
Between fatherless homes and suicide. Mm-hmm. Youth suicide.
Yes, youth suicide. Runaways, 90%.
Jeez.
Behavior disorders, 85%. That's huge numbers.
Mm-hmm.
High school dropout, 71%.
Mm.
Juvenile detention rates, 70%. Substance abuse, 75%. And aggression, 75%. 75% of rapists motivated by displaced anger. I mean, those are very alarming.
Mm-hmm.
Very alarming.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the gang culture. You look at the the kids dropouts in our neighborhoods. I mean, it's a direct correlation of the father not being there. Like little men, little men, little women, they need their fathers in their lives. And I think the first step to that and being accountable is starting that accountability up front. And that's getting a paternity test, like when the child is born, getting a paternity test when the mother says that there's certain guys that they're father of the child. I think that should be mandatory before, you sign on birth certificates, anything like that. Because if a guy is signing a birth certificate, and I just talk about my situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with my situation, I'm young, bro. I'm 19. I knew I never shot the club up, right? Knew I never shot the club
You never
up.
shot in her club.
Never shot the club up. Never shot the club up, right? But, I was dumb and had unprotected sex.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? So I thought that was my child. I thought the young lady was being faithful. I thought that was my child. So I changed my whole life. Like, that impacted my life. I changed my whole life. Like, it did. It changed my goals in life. Because up to that point, my goals in life was to play play NFL football. You know what I mean? At any level. I mean, if I probably could have went across season, played football, Canadian football for money. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
At any level. But I really did feel like I had the skills. But what happened was when I was advised that I had a child, my priorities changed. So instead of going home on breaks or staying at school on breaks and working out, going back home on my breaks and working out, running, all the things that I did prior to learning that information, I stopped it. I went home to go work to make sure that my baby, because that's the main thing, like family was first, right? Always, my drive to go to the NFL was to provide for my family like my family couldn't provide for me. You feel what I'm saying? So now I got a family. I gotta grind. I need to go to work. I need to have diapers. I needed food. I need to take care of all that. So football went to the back burner. I thought I could do it still just sheerly off of pure talent. But if you're not working, man, everybody else working around you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And if you're not working, you're not going to make it.
So, not to interject, but
no, you're good.
She told you she was pregnant.
Yep.
She told you were the father. You just kind of assumed.
No, she told me. She was like, "Yeah."
She told you.
You're the father. Yeah, absolutely.
And then you were like, "Okay, I'm going to take care of the baby."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot.
You guys never discussed abortion.
The discussion was there.
Okay.
We was literally like, I came home.
But wait, she knew this whole time that you were not?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. She knew the whole time I wasn't.
Mm.
And she knew the whole time I wasn't. And, like, what happened, like, she had told me, we talked about abortion. And I was like, I don't know about that. I don't want to, but if that's what you want to do, we could do it, whatever, right? Not advocating abortion at all, because I think that's very cruel. But, it wasn't my body to say yes or no to, right?
And there are a lot of health risks. There are a lot of health implications in regards to having a baby. So it's not just easy as just, having a baby. The mom's at risk too. So it's a big decision.
Right. So, yeah, she, so I was at school. She was like, yeah, let's do it. She set up an appointment, Raleigh or somewhere. I don't remember. I shot home, went to pick her up. We was on our way, and her mom called her, like, what you doing? Where you at? She was crying in my passenger seat, telling her what she about to do. Her mom told her to come back home. Came back home. That's it. So the mom is like, you taking care of this child? Like she had to tell me that or something. Like, you're going to take care of this child. You just this, that, the mom got involved, everything, you know what I mean? But like I said, you don't have to tell me that.
Well, you know the stereotype with black men,
Right,
how
right.
we don't take care of our kids.
Right.
So
yeah.
the mom felt like she had to have that conversation with you.
Yeah, because she made the same decision, same mistakes of having multiple baby daddies. So all her kids wasn't the pastor's kids. All her kids wasn't wasn't by the same man either. But I digress. But yeah, I mean that's the case as far as we thought about having an abortion, and we ended up not doing that. And for 5 years of my life, man, I was grinding. You know what I mean? Taking care of the kid and buying them everything. Went in a little debt, because I couldn't really work while I was in school, so I had took out some more student loans.
This is between 19 and 24, 25.
19, 20, yep. Mm-hmm.
So you're like sophomore. You're like just in college.
Yeah, I was just in college, 2002, it was a spring. I think it was spring of 2002 is when I found out. So that was the fall. Yeah, that was the fall season. Yeah. I think it was spring 2002 when I found out.
And then from there, you were still going to school, but you were still taking care of the kid.
Of course, they wanted me to drop out. You know what I mean? Her and the mom wanted me to drop out. But I was like, nah, I can't. Like, I can't go back home and what am I going to do without a degree? You feel what I'm saying? They wanted me to drop out. You know what I mean? And I said, no. So that's my story. All right.
What bothers me is she knew the whole time.
Yeah, she knew the whole time.
And she's having discussions about abortions, and you're about to take her to get an abortion, and then she changes her mind. Okay.
Yeah.
But then they ask you to drop out of school.
Yeah.
And the whole time she knew that you were not the biological father.
The whole time she knew. Absolutely. The whole time she
knew.
And
the mom knew too.
The mom knew too. Absolutely. Because her mom, her mom was telling her to go out to the clubs. I'm not an advocate of clubs because I'm an athlete, so I know and I see the athletes. Things that happen after 12 o'clock don't nothing good happen after 12 o'clock. That's what my coaches used to say too. You feel what I'm saying? Like nothing good happens after 12 o'clock. You know what I mean? If you're in the club, clubs can get shot up. You feel what I'm saying? All types of stuff, right? Even while I was in school, she was going out to the clubs. I didn't like that crap. You feel what I'm saying? She would call me. One night she called me crying. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? What's going on? What's going on? We was in the club and they shot at the club and everybody running.
And this is after she had the baby.
This was before.
Oh, okay.
I was in the club. The club got shot up in Greenville. I got trampled. I didn't feel sorry for her. I said, that's stupid. I told you not to be in the club. Why you in the club? You feel what I'm saying? Obviously, the dude wasn't taking care of you while you in the club with him. You getting trampled while he running.
Right.
So, anyway, but you know what I mean? But fast forward, taking care of the child, whatever. It's a lot behind it, but of course, I'm gonna pass all that. But only reason we got a paternity test really is she wanted me to pay more money to her because we had an informal agreement. I was already paying her I wasn't making a lot of money, but I was paying her 25% of my check. You know what I mean? We had an informal agreement. We didn't go to courts and everything because I hated the child support system because my uncles and they all went through it, going back and forth to jail because of child support. You feel what I'm saying? So I didn't like that, and she knew that, and so she was like, well, she was about to have twins, and she wanted me to pay her more, and I'm like, I can't pay you more. Like those aren't my kids. That's my only child, so I can't pay you more money because you having other kids.
Wait. So after allegedly you had a kid with her, allegedly she had twins after that.
Yep, she was pregnant with twins when she asked me for more money, and she was dating a dude. She was dating a dude like They was in a serious relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she asked me for more money. I was like, I can't give you more money. Like, I don't have any more money to give you. Like, I'm barely making it. 23 years old, I'm like 25 at the time. Like, I'm barely making it, bro. I don't have any more money to give you, you know? So she's dating someone now, and she with the dude that supposedly got her pregnant with the twins.
Mm-hmm.
And she's fussing, crying. I'm gonna get the man on you. See, that's the thing I don't like about girls. Like, when they get in this situation where you don't agree, I'm getting a man on you then. Like, I'm putting you on child support. Like, I think that's cowardice. You feel what I'm saying? Like, let's handle things. Like, it's not like I wasn't, and I understand. People, I understand there's some terrible guys out there, just like there's terrible girls out there. You know,
but it sounded like you were trying to do a responsible thing.
Right. And I understand there's guys out there that is not doing a responsible thing by not taking care of their children. I get that,
but you ain't one of them dudes though.
That's not my situation.
Right.
That's never been my situation. Never been that type of guy. So, only reason I found out that wasn't my child, bro, is because she tried to put me on child support. And when they put me on child support, I went up to the child support office. I gave her everything. I gave the child support lady everything. I've had to put the child on my insurance. You know what I mean? Everything. So I don't know. I don't even know why I asked this. I said, so if I'm paying child support, if I got to pay child support, do I have the opportunity to actually get a paternity test? And she said, yeah. I said, okay, I want a paternity test. And she's like, okay, you're going to have to pay for it. I said, that's fine. I'll pay for it. She's like, she told me $300, whatever. I paid $300 right there to get it done. So she called me crying. Oh, you want a paternity test? You won't never see your daughter again. Ever. I said, nope, the court's already involved. If it's my child, I'm going to see my child. You can't stop that. The court's involved. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. And that's how we found out, bro. 99.999% not my child. That's what the letter said. Yeah. So that's 5 years in taking care of the child. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff behind that, but
5 years of
my life,
your life, 5 years of commitment to a child, 5 years of altering your life, making decisions based on the fact that you have a child, allegedly.
Yep. And
that's 5 years. 5 years you can't really get back.
Nope.
So
all that money I'm still paying. Student loans from, maxing out my student loans to take care of the child. For the clothes and stuff like that, food. Still paying for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Still paying for that.
So what you're saying is mandatory paternity test.
Yeah, I think it should be mandatory paternity test. One thing you got to protect, first and foremost, let's protect the child, right? Let's not let the child walk around their life not knowing
who their real father
is, who they are, because that's a part of who they are. Not knowing their family. You feel what I'm saying? This child don't know who their family is. Which, if they knew who their family was, maybe they can have that relationship. Maybe that dude is a deadbeat dad, right? That the woman chose to lay down with. You feel what I'm saying? But maybe that there's an aunt. You know what I mean? Maybe there's the boy's sister or the boy's mom want to have that relationship with another child or the child that's theirs. You feel what I'm saying?
Which happens
that's
a lot.
In their family. You feel what I'm saying? You want to have that relationship with your family no matter what, especially a grandmother, or granddad that's in the child's life, or the uncle or aunt. If the dad ain't not going to be there, maybe they will. You feel what I'm saying? So I think it should be mandatory, and I think that especially for the child, and for the dad and the parents. You know what I mean? Like, that's stress, bro. Like, you gotta be stressed. as a woman, you got to be stressed thinking that looking at this child interact with a dude that's not their father. Like, you have to feel bad.
You would think, right?
Right, yeah.
I mean,
yeah. You have to feel bad to one day have to apologize because you knew that child wasn't his. Or there was a possibility because you slept with multiple guys in the same time frame. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and for that guy that may want to be in that child's life, but if that guy feel like that the girl is kind of a little bit more promiscuous, you know what I mean? He might not be in the child's life because he might not think it's his.
Right.
But if we do that mandatory paternity test right out the bat,
then we know.
If that girl say, yo, that's my dad, that's my child's dad, bam, paternity test. You can't get no child support. I don't think you should get child support. Well, you can't get child support anyway, but you shouldn't get help from the government because there's no accountability for these girls. No accountability.
So you're saying they shouldn't be on government assistance?
No.
They shouldn't be allowed?
No.
They shouldn't qualify?
Nope. Because what responsibility, like, some people say that the government assistance right now is actually tearing down the black community. Right? So some people say that.
I have my own thoughts on child support.
Right.
Spousal support, things of that nature. I'm not going to get into it. But these systems are set up in place really to protect women and guys. There's no mechanism to protect guys like you, and there's no mechanism to protect guys like me. Right. That's the only issue I have with it. Right. As far as women in that situation not being able to get government assistance, I don't know if I could agree with you on that. But the mandatory paternity test, I could rock with that. I don't think I'm going to have a problem with that. It's getting tricky now because women are having kids with women. And we got transgender, we got men might be trying to have kids with men. So, whoever claims the kid, I don't know if that's going to have an effect on those situations or not. But and then you have people who go to like the sperm bank and, things like that. But you kind of know what it is. In that situation, you know what it is. Right. Yeah, I think in all those situations, like... Yeah. There's no wiggle room in that one. You know exactly what you're going into at that point. When I had my kid, they asked me no questions. Like, I just claimed the kid, and they were like, whatever. Right? Yeah. And I signed the parental agreement, whatever. And that's something like, if you're there to sign the birth certificate, right? When you're there for the birth and everything, I think that they should say, before you sign this paperwork, are you sure you're the child's father? Yes or no? All right? Ask those questions. And then they should do a paternity test right then. Yeah. Some states, if you sign the paternity, if you sign the birth certificate, like, you are on the hook for 18 years. Yeah. It doesn't even matter if you're not the child's father. Right. You feel what I'm saying? You're just doing that for just for legality at that point. But when it comes down to taking care of the child, like, if you sign that birth certificate in most states, you're done. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? And again, like, that's why I feel like a child should be in the child's place. Like, I shouldn't have been doing adult things at 18, 19. I mean, you were young. You were a young adult though. It was like it's not like at that age we know what we're doing, but we could be careless. Yeah. right? Because 18 is different from 38,
Right.
right? So, you know, it wasn't like you was 12,
right,
you know.
right. But it started from an early age of being promiscuous.
Promiscuous,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's not
right.
It's not anything that we're taught.
Because not like you lost your virginity to that girl, like
Right.
you were doing your thing before that.
Right. But I never got anyone pregnant either.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But you didn't get her pregnant either.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's the thing. Like that's another story. That's another topic I would love to talk about. It's like just letting the kids be kids and not having to make those adult decisions. Like, you know, kids having babies at 16, 15, 16, even like I said, at 19 years old, bro, you ain't making good decisions. Like, I was just a child. No matter what, I'm a young adult, but I'm still just a child, bro. I signed a birth certificate. You know, my family didn't know anything about this.
Right. You had no lawyer. You had no legal advice.
Right.
You had no guidance, no nothing.
My family didn't know about this. My family wasn't, you know, my family didn't advise me like, hey, are you sure, 100% sure? I didn't have that conversation with anyone.
Right.
Like, maybe you shouldn't sign that birth certificate, Jonathan, until you get a paternity test.
Right.
I know y'all are very faithful to each other, but I think you should get a paternity test first. Like,
yeah, and like we were saying before we got on air, it's not like I don't trust you.
Right.
If like when I had my kid, I kind of knew like that's my kid. Like I couldn't really deny. And in some ways she does look like me. In some ways she does act like me. So it's like, you know, at this point, I really can't deny it, right?
Yeah.
And I would have been okay with the paternity test because of the situation I was in with her, with the mother of my child. Not that I knew what I was doing though, right?
Right.
So I knew there was a very strong chance that the kid is mine, right? And you know, when she told me, I was like you. I was like, okay, like how you want to handle this? Because, you know, I'm not really big on you having an abortion, but and at the same time, if you have the kid, you know, I'm gonna be her father. I'm gonna take care of the kid.
Right.
So like the same conversation you had, I had too. And you know, I mean, me and her were together for a minute though, maybe like a couple years before, you know, she actually got knocked up. So again, there was a strong chance I was a father, but I would not have just to make sure, just to be sure, just to get confirmation, you know. And yes, for the record, I am paying child support. If anybody was wondering. And so I'm going through that, but again, I have my issues with child support. Right. I don't have a problem giving my kid money though.
Right.
Just like you didn't have a problem,
right,
you know, providing financially for the kid. I think mandatory paternity tests, I think that should be the way to go.
Yeah, I think it will, man. I understand, like married women may feel disrespected, but that's why I say mandatory, because then you're not feeling disrespected by your husband.
Right, because it's not on me. It's like, they making me do this. I can't. Yeah, they making me do this.
They make us do a lot of stuff, right? The government make us do a lot of stuff we don't want to do. Why not just get this paternity test? They already taking blood for the children anyway to make sure that everything's good, right? Why not just slide a little paternity test in there? You know what I mean? Just slide a little paternity test in there, and like I said, it just make it mandatory, so then some of the women, like everybody, would be on the same playing field as far as knowing if the child is the father or not.
And like I said, I was like 99% sure it's mine. It wasn't like I thought she was sleeping around on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't think that.
Mm-hmm.
But could she have been sleeping around on me? Sure. So let's get the paternity test. Let's make sure. Let's get confirmation. And if I'm the dad, I'm the dad, and you know, we'll move forward from there.
Right.
But if I'm not, then you know,
we know.
Then we know. And then you know, and then the mom knows. Well, in your situation, she kind of knew who the dad was. But there are also some situations where the mom really doesn't know.
Right.
Like she genuinely really doesn't know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that way, you know,
That's why I say
that way, you know, okay, John's not the father. Okay, Jonathan's not the father. Okay. That knocks out two, right? That knocks out two possibilities, right? And then you just go down the list, however long the list is,
right?
You know, however long the list is, whatever. Right. You know, I'm not knocking nobody for what they do.
Yep. Because men, just like I said, it's not a girl boy thing. It's
a human thing. We're all
right.
Listen, girls are just as promiscuous as guys are. Mm-hmm. Don't get it twisted, right? Girls cheat just like guys cheat.
Yep.
Don't get it twisted.
Yep.
So we're human, and we have evolved into being very sexual beings. A lot of us started young, right? So you know that's just how we roll as a species. That's how we roll.
Yeah, and it definitely, especially when they're young. Kids having kids at 16, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 years old.
Right.
Like, bro, you got to give these kids some type of protection.
And chances are you're having multiple partners.
Chances are. Man and female.
Male and female.
And the good thing is, like, with a man, I mean, you know who you slept with, and you can kind of pinpoint, like, you know, if you shot the club off.
yeah, like, you know, I mean, you know, if you put on a condom, you know, if the condom break,
right? You
know, if you shot up her club,
right?
You know, if your pull-out game is on point,
right? Yeah.
You know these things.
Yeah,
men know because we know.
Yeah, we know.
We know what we did.
Yeah.
So that's why when she told me she was pregnant, I was like, yeah, I could see why. I could see how that could happen.
When she told me she was pregnant, I was like, damn, wow. Hey, like, maybe it's just an accident. Maybe it's just some pre-semen came.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I was thinking. Like, maybe it was just an accident.
Yeah.
But then, I did a little research when I was pregnant, when I was married. I was like, I asked some guys, some elder statesmen, hey, when you had your child, did you know that you had that child? Like, did you not pull out? Like, those times did you not? He like, everyone that I asked that, it was like, oh yeah, I didn't come out. I didn't pull out nothing. One man was like, shoot. My granddad was like, I'm surprised I ain't got more kids out here. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, guys, we know our body. We know our body. So, ain't no, but we kind of know.
Those are some of the questions that I should have had as a child.
Yeah.
Because my family, the males in my family knew what it was. They knew that I was out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when someone got pregnant, I think some of the males in my family should have been like, hey, man, let me talk to you. It ain't all, I know you think it's all sweet and roses that this girl is so faithful to you. But let me put you on the game. You know what I'm saying? There is a possibility that she's not. I'm not saying that she's not, but there's always a possibility. Like, those conversations should have been had.
And that's why it's important that's why it's important to have male figures in your life. Because, and no disrespect to women, but there's just certain things that there's just certain things that they can't relate to when it comes to raising a boy,
Right.
where a man could relate
Right.
in a different way. It's just a different way. That's all it is. So,
yeah. So I think paternity tests should be mandatory across the board. You know, just slide that test on.
I'm with you on that. We don't need Maury.
Yeah,
we don't need to go Maury.
You don't need to go Maury. And
we just make it.
Yeah. Making a fool
but
of
that
yourself.
will shut down that whole show because that's all the show is about.
Yes. Maybe they just have to go to Maury. Just pipeline straight to Maury.
But yeah, I mean, you know, put the kid first though. Put the kid first. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, man. Put the kids first, man. I just think that would help out every race. You know what I mean? If we can just find out who these kids' fathers are early. So these kids, maybe hopefully the dad will be a man and
step up. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because, and then hopefully the women will be a little bit more, both man and women will be a little bit more responsible when engaging in those activities that, hey, we're going to find out who this child's dad is regardless. So you be responsible, you know. And you don't have to worry about child support. You don't have to worry about not going to college because you're pregnant for a female.
And then the kid doesn't have to worry about, you know, not knowing who their biological father is and not knowing who their family is and not, you know, not building those relationships. So
most importantly. Yes, sir.
So, yeah, we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Yeah. Yo, guys, let us know what you think. Jonathan and I agree. Mandatory paternity test. Mandatory paternity test. Let us know what you think.
Yeah. We know some of you females are going to have a lot of different pushback, but just know that we're thinking about not only us as males, but we're thinking about the female as well. Like, we want you guys to have a well-rounded life. You know, there's no secrets. You're not worrying yourself about who's your baby dad. You know, and this, I think this will make life a whole lot easier.
I think it'll be, I think it'll give you opportunity to move forward. So, let us know what you think. Follow us on Instagram at The Formula Production. Follow us on Twitter at The Formula Pro. Check us out on YouTube at The Formula Production. Find me on social media at Speechless417.
You can find me on social media at Boot Leach.
Find the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Breaker, Castbox. You know the deal. All right. Till next time, faith, dream, hustle, repeat.
And that's the formula.